All right, Aaron. So second video, I'm gonna get you set up with the projects and how I do what I was talking about yesterday with taking good samples, good ideas, and then reverse engineering them back to create your projects and your instructions. So to do this, you're gonna need two GPT windows open. I'm gonna switch over here. Um, in this first one, we're gonna go to new project, and this is going to be our LinkedIn uh, post writer. So whatever this is, um, whatever you want to title it, this is what uh, where you put that in. And then what we're going to do is we want to give it special instructions that follows, like you said, the story arc and then the samples that you had. But you need to give it instructions, specific instructions for that. So I've got over here, this is a new GPT window, um, a bunch of documents for uh, LinkedIn templates, like post template styles, viral hooks to go with it, template samples, and then a viral content guide, which was, I think it's HubSpot came up with this. But these are the good examples that I want to give to this project to create the instructions for how to write like this every time. So what my prompt is going to be is um, given the following examples, develop a writing guide. And this is just in my general GPT. This isn't in a special project yet. For LinkedIn content for impact consulting. This will be instructions for a specific GPT project that will have docs as references as well as our ICP, so our audience and voice and tone guide. So I just wanted to write the instructions to give to the other project. So rather than me writing out those instructions, I wanted to read this thing, read all of these, which I don't know if it's going to. There it goes. Um, Evaluate what they are, what's in it, what makes them good, and then come up with instructions that we can use that'll get consistent projects. So I'm going to take this once it's all done. We're going to copy that. Then we're going to go back into the project, edit the project. Oh, not there. Hold on. Instructions, add instructions. And we're just going to paste those instructions in there. And we can save those. Now, this is where you want to add the files that gives it the guardrails for the story, the brand voice, all of that. So I'm going to come back over to my marketing and branding. I'm going to pull out, where's it at? Strategy. My ideal client profile, unique value proposition. We're going to add those. And then we are going to add, if I can find it now. So I've got stuff everywhere. It's going to be in here. Company docs, voice. I'm going to give it my personality profile because I want it to sound like me. And also, let me see, what else do I want this to have? Where to go to? It's in here, speaker bio. Where is it at? There's our LinkedIn growth strategy, so how to apply it. I want it to have that. So it has the strategy as well. Voice and style guide. Let me see. Brand voice. There it is. Is this the right one? No, that's a worksheet. Style guide. Let's see if it pulls it up. Landing page, visual. Nope. So I probably need to make one. But anyways, that's where you would load the documents that give it the framework to keep the story arc and then the content on topic. So now when I do a LinkedIn post or you want to write content, so if this is Betty Hunter, that's where we would put all of their samples. So all of the sample flyers and the humor and the voice and all of that would go into the files to give it a reference, but we would want to create the instructions that are going to give the right framework to make it be successful. So this is how you write a good post. Like, so for your example, you wrote all the good content on the brand voice and the output that you wanted. So you would put that in the instructions. So this would be, let's write a LinkedIn post, value of networking with military veteran spouses and educating on, let's see, how AI, because I'm talking on this topic later, how AI algorithms are impacting job search from an employer perspective, and how to leverage it to your advantage. So now it's going to take all of that information inside that project and it's going to build a LinkedIn post that follows those guides. So what the viral hooks were, what the structure and format was. So the good examples, it's now going to build based on that. Not because they lack skills, but because algorithms are making decisions for you. Right. This is actually a good post. Keyword scanning. So I may actually use this one. Use specific roles. So that helps keep everything on voice, and it keeps it in a project. So now inside this project, in this post writer here, every time I come in here, it's going to be able to draw off of what we've worked on. So it becomes a recursive improvement. So it's flexible to what you put in. So as you make adjustments to this, you may want to go back and revisit the instructions and tweak those. But inside a project, it's going to pull from the history of the project. It'll pull from the resources you give it in the files, and it'll pull from the overall memory and style of your ChatGPT that you have built into it. So it really keeps a good left-right guardrail on what you're producing, and it can focus it in. But projects, so this would be like all Betty Hunter Realty. You wouldn't come in here and do your off-road one. You would make that in a separate one so they don't get confused. So it just focuses on Betty Hunter, and you'd make a separate project that would be off-road, one that would be Betty Hunter, one that would be Impact Consulting. So the viral hook traits you used for this. So I want to kind of a check on learning on, did it pull the right information? So what are the viral hook traits that it drew off of? And there you go. So it's pulling from that information that we fed it. Overall post formula style from the recommended list. So just checking, the draft I wrote follows one of the recommended formulas from the playbook, knowledge share and hot take hybrid. So yeah, there you go. I might use this one. Actually looks pretty good. But and then when you go, let me bounce out here so you can see it. it keeps all of your history within that project in here. So that's what I mean, that it'll draw off of it. So we wrote about military spouses. We're going to write about using AI to craft resumes to beat that problem. Or we'll write about something else. So it starts to theme what you've done. And you can archive the projects if it gets too off topic, but you can also go back into edit the instructions and give it more clarity. Like for Betty Hunter, use more humor, use dad jokes, whatever it is, you can build into here. And then as we get more reference material, we can, and analytics, we can put back in here. Here's our last month's performance metrics on engagement and shares or likes or whatever it is, or calls, which is going to be super important. You would put that back into here, so then it can use the metrics to refine the content as well, because it can look at, hey, this post did well, let's do more of it. So it's just a matter of feeding it the right information that it can build off of and run inferences. So hopefully that helps. There's another way to do it with a specific GPT, like if you wanted to make a custom GPT. I like the projects better because it keeps the conversation thread. But if you go to create a GPT, it's essentially the same thing. You would put the instructions in here, and then you would load your documents, your reference documents, over here. So the downside to this is that it will produce chat threads that are over here on this side. So it's not as focused on the content. A custom GPT will look at all of these, or it will fall off the memory and start hallucinating and make stuff up, because it only has the memory within the one conversation. So every time you go to the GPT, it's starting a new conversation. It's not going to remember that we wrote a post about military spouses and resumes and AI tools. It doesn't remember that technically. It may be able to see some of it, but not as specific as if it's inside a project. So hopefully that helped. I like projects. I think projects are the way to go for what we are doing. You can also change the color on them when you go up here. Edit the project. Can access memory. Default project can access memories from outside chats. Project only from inside. So you can actually change that. So they made it editable. That's kind of cool. You can also give it an icon if you want it to. Make that guy blue. So there you go. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Have a good day.